Welcome. What is Cirrus Airframe Parachute System? The Cirrus Airframe Parachute System, CAPS, is designed to protect occupants in the event of an emergency by lowering the aircraft to the ground after deployment. CAPS revolutionized general aviation safety by providing an additional measure of safety to occupants, similar in theory to the role of seatbelts in automobiles. No other certified general aviation aircraft manufacturer in the world provides this safety feature as standard equipment. The Cirrus Airframe Parachute System is a whole-plane ballistic parachute recovery system designed specifically for Cirrus Aircraft S line of general aviation light aircraft, including the SR-20, SR-22, and SF50. The design became the first of its kind to become certified with the FAA, achieving certification in October 1998, and remains the only aircraft ballistic parachute used as standard equipment by an aviation company. The original inspiration for the whole airplane parachute on the Cirrus airplane was a mid-air collision that could have led to tragedy. But instead it led to the creation of the Cirrus Airframe Parachute System, the most significant safety innovation in over a half-century of general aviation. In the event of an in-flight emergency, pulling the red CAPS handle on the ceiling inside the cockpit deploys a solid fuel rocket out a hatch that covers the concealed compartment where the parachute is stored. As the rocket carries the parachute rearward from the back of the airplane, the embedded CAPS airplane harness straps release from the fuselage. Within seconds, the 65-diameter canopy will unfurl, controlling the aircraft rate of descent. The final landing is absorbed by the specialized landing gear, a roll cage, and Cirrus energy-absorbing technology seats. Developed as a collaboration between Cirrus and Ballistic Recovery Systems, it was adapted from the Guard, initially released for the Cessna 150. As in other BRS systems, a solid fuel rocket housed in the aft fuselage is used to pull the parachute out from its housing and deploy the canopy full within seconds. The goal of employing this system is the survival of the crew and passengers, and not necessarily the prevention of damage to the airframe. Design and development. Since the landing gear and firewall are a part of the structure designed to be crushed for energy absorption during impact after parachute deployment, Cirrus originally thought that the airframe would be damaged beyond repair on ground impact, but the first aircraft to deploy landed in Mesquite and was not badly damaged. Cirrus bought the airframe back, repaired it, and used it as a demo plane. It was eventually sold to another owner who destroyed it in a crash short of the runway. Dating back to the first conception of the Cirrus SR-20, the aircraft was intended to come equipped with CAPS. Because of this, Cirrus designed a special kind of spin-resistant wing, which makes it more difficult for the plane to enter a spin, and thus, more difficult to recover from one. The FAA accepted the parachute as a sufficient mode of spin recovery, and complete spin testing was not required. However, in 2004, Cirrus completed a limited series of spin recovery tests to meet European Safety Agency requirements, and no unusual characteristics were found. Vision Jet. The first jet with a ballistic parachute, the Cirrus Vision SF50 single-engine jet, was certified in October 2016 with CAPS. Despite the FAA not requiring Cirrus to test the device since it was not necessary for certification, Business Insider released video in May 2017 showing CAPS being tested in flight with a piloted SF50 prototype. In 2018, Cirrus won the Collier Trophy for the Vision Jet, due in part to the aircraft's inclusion of CAPS. The award is presented annually for the greatest achievement in aeronautics or astronautics in America. With respect to improving the performance, efficiency, and safety of air or space vehicles. History. The idea for CAPS came in 1985 from Cirrus founders, brothers Alan and Dale Clapmeyer, after Alan survived a mid-air collision where his plane lost more than 3 feet of wing, including half the aileron, the pilot in the other aircraft spiraled into the ground and was killed. From this experience, the Klappmeyer brothers decided to implement a device on their Cirrus models that would give the pilot and passengers a way out in the worst-case scenario. These efforts contributed to their later induction into the National Aviation Hall of Fame. The Cirrus engineering and design team, led by Paul Johnston, started developing caps on the SR20 in Duluth, Minnesota, during the mid-1990s. It was first tested in 1998 over the high desert of Southern California by late Air National Guard F-16 pilot and Cirrus chief test pilot Scott D. Anderson. Anderson completed all 7 of the in-flight test deployments of caps for development and certification of the SR20. The first emergency deployment occurred in 2002 over Lewisville, Texas, and resulted in the survival of 1 uninjured pilot operating an SR-22. Deployments. As of December 18, 2018, CAPS has been activated 98 times, 83 of which saw successful parachute deployment. In those successful deployments, there were 170 survivors and 1 fatality. No fatalities have occurred when the parachute was deployed within the certified speed and altitude parameters, and only 1 anomalous unsuccessful deployment has ever occurred within those parameters. Some additional deployments have been reported by accident, as caused by ground impact or post-impact fires, and 19 of the aircraft involved in CAPS deployments have been repaired and put back into service. Post-2011, the year of their highest fatality rate to date, Cirrus has experienced an increase in CAPS deployments coinciding with a steady decrease in fatal accidents, giving them one of the best safety records in the industry and less than half the industry average. This was attributed to a new approach to training, particularly in when to deploy the parachute system. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.